Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome to an Uchuu Sentai Kyuranger review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Hikari Kyutama. This is, much like the Psycho Kyutama, is a power-up item that has a lot of sound effects in it, and there is more in here than you might expect. First of all, one annoying thing, there's no on-off switch, so I've been keeping the pull tab to conserve the LR44 batteries. This here is a reset button because there is no on-off switch. Taking a look at the Kyutama design, it is a sun and a moon Kyutama. The idea is that you just pick which side you're doing and flip it back and forth. No sliding gimmick, but that's fine. Honestly, looks really cool. Now, what's cool is there's two big buttons. You push the button that for the opposite modes. So let's take a look at the sounds here. So those are the basic sounds of the actual Hikari Kyutama. What's really cool is there actually is kind of a roll call feature with the other Kyurangers in this Kyutama. So you get kind of the idea there. Flipping it over, we activate the moon mode. And then you also get all of those sound effects, again, with the roll call in a different voice, because the moon side has a different voice than the sun side. On the first part, I didn't show all these sound effects, but each corresponding sound effect to the Kyutama of that Kyuranger is also in here, so we'll play all of those in full now. So that's the basic functions of this Kyutama. What's really cool is because it's all self-contained sound effects, you don't need the Seiza Blaster to activate everything. These buttons here will correspond to the movement of the Seiza Blaster. But since I like to do things properly and it does activate a new sound in the Seiza Blaster, let's gear up and do this the right way. Okay, so now we got the Seiza Blaster. Let's get the Hikari Kyutama here. We'll actually start in sun mode. And lock it down. And to activate it, you actually push forward twice for the say the change. So it's interesting because Taiyo Shishi Red is the only sound in here. You don't get any other Kyurangers. It doesn't matter if you're cycling through and land on a Kyuranger. It's not going to change that sound effect. The reason it's Taiyo Shishi Red is because it was never used by anybody else until towards the end of the series where Chameleon Green actually uses power-up. Minor complaint, but, relatively justified. I don't think they had any idea that they were ever going to use it with any other Kyuranger. You push the button on top and you get the final attack sound. It's interesting you also get a different final attack sound if you push this back. That's the same for all both sides. They also do have other sounds that activate. It just likes to shout great. But yeah, so really interesting. It does modify the actual Seiza Blaster sounds. So we're going to flip this around here, if I can get it out. This one can be tricky. Let me go pick that up. Probably my biggest complaint with this is that it does lock in almost too good into the Seiza Blaster. Once again, Shishi Red Moon, no other moons. I would like to have seen Chameleon Green Moon, but top button, attack. And there you go. All the sounds, like the grate, all that is the same in here. It doesn't change the sounds because of a different mode. But that is the Hikari Kyutama. So overall, that's the Hikari Kyutama. Lots of sound effects, surprisingly, for was a fairly inexpensive item, I think costing around 1,500 yen originally. And overall, I really like it. I picked up mine. It took me a while to get this. It wasn't something I was interested in at first. But eventually I was like, hey, this is actually pretty neat. I think the switching of side gimmick works pretty well. It's less bulky than the Psycho Kyutama, so it's not too weird on the Seiza Blaster. And overall, I definitely recommend it to those collecting Kyuranger items. If you just want, you know, all the Kyurangers minus Ho-Oh Soldier with sound effects. If you want sounds for each of them, this is also pretty good. You can just kind of get this as a standalone item. You can even activate all the sounds. All you gotta do is hold down this button and then press this one twice. And there you go. So you can actually do everything without the Seiza Blaster. Plus, it bumps up the Seiza Blaster a bit with some more sounds if you have one. So, that's pretty much it for the Hikari Kyutama, and we're pretty much done with Kyuranger reviews. The only thing I'm missing is the Dark Seiza Blaster. I didn't get a chance to pre-order it because of Super Sentai Artisan Dairono being around the same time frame, and not having the money, and now it's going for a lot of money on the aftermarket. So, it may be a while, but I will definitely be getting a Dark Seiza Blaster in the future. And I will review it to kind of close off Kyuranger. So stay tuned for that grand finale that will come at an undisclosed time that I haven't decided yet, because money. Anyways, that pretty much does it for this review. Stay tuned for other Super Sentai reviews here on this channel. Eventually I'll cover Lupin Ranger and Pato Ranger. We'll see. I might even just go back and cover Ninja for the heck of it. I don't know. I got stuff. I like reviewing stuff. So, we'll see what happens. Till next time, it's Soundout saying goodbye.